everybody from around the world. This is Stephen Harlow, straight from the news desk here at the Appalachian Post. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This will be our first podcast episode. So, without further ado and without wasting time, I know time is precious in this world. It's precious for me, and I can only imagine it's precious for all of you out there listening to me right now. So, just wanted to take the time here with the opening podcast, talk a little bit about bare essentials, basics, beginnings. And so, what do I mean by beginnings? Well, the beginnings of the Appalachian Post. That's the biggest thing. That's what we need to touch on today. That's what we're going to touch on right now. So, little background on me. I am from Appalachia, thus the name Appalachian Post. I wanted to kind of keep that identity in the business as we started it up here. So that led into the choice of the name, contributed to that. I am currently 32 days old now, or we will be at 8:33 tonight, 8:33 p.m. Eastern Time. I am on the eastern side of the United States, over here in West Virginia. So when I'm currently 33. When I was 32 years old, I started getting the idea to get into media. I took a couple communications classes in school, in college. It was in American Public University at the time. It's an online college out of Charlestown, West Virginia, and so I took a really, really good communications class. I believe there were two that I ended up taking, but I'd have to look at the transcript. But anyway, so I took a really, really good communications class, and in it, I'm thinking we're just going to learn, some basics about, nonsense, just to be 100% honest with you, because the way it was described to me was this was an easy A class. So I'm thinking, I'm going to get into this class, I'm going to learn some nonsense, scoot past it, and I was expecting the easy A. I was expecting some nonsense. And whenever I got into it, it was totally, completely different. Learned a lot about media, things to that nature, things that go on in media. Just some different things and some fun things to look at concerning today's media. What I wished at the time that I could see was someone who had neutral bias. Everybody has bias, okay? Everybody in this world has bias. If you have a bias towards the left, if you have a bias towards the right, if you have a bias towards religion, or you have a bias towards atheism, you probably expected me to say science there, but science and religion are not opposed to each other. So I'm not gonna pit those against each other, because it's just that opposition is not there that I see. And we'll dive into that later podcast. That's not what we're here for today. I think that we've grasped a hold of that vision here at Appalachian Post since we opened on December 1st. But my vision at the time was a news media company, national, not regional, not local. You see a lot of it in regional and local that have neutrality and a bias towards truth. And I'm not saying that, let's get this out of the way right now. I am not saying that other media companies that exist out there don't have a bias towards truth. What I am saying is that was my vision. That was part of my vision. I am not alleging anything towards any media company. I'm not saying this because of legality or anything like that. That's not why I'm saying this. This is all coming from the heart. This podcast episode is not scripted. Everything you're hearing right now is coming straight out of my head into the microphone. But I want to be careful about what I say here, because we all know how words can be used against people, and if you're not 100% clear with what you mean, then you're leaving the rest up for interpretation. I'm going to try my best not to do that here, because I don't put words in other people's mouths, and I don't want them put in mine. So, eh, so let's get that out of the way. Let's make that clear. I am not saying anything malicious, anything harmful, or anything like that. I'm not alleging anything towards any other news media company. I'm not saying that there's not other news media companies out there that aren't neutral or truthful or have a bias towards neutrality and truth. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is I personally wanted to start a news media company that had a bias towards those two main factors at its core. And so that's what we've done here at Appalachian Post. That's our big thing here. And we're not. Another thing concerning, let's get this out of the way right now. Another thing concerning other news media companies and stuff like that, we're not here to compete with anybody. I'm a very type A type of guy, but that's just not the type of person I am. I'm not here to compete. I'm here to hang. So anyway, not to jump ahead of myself, but I get the idea of let's go ahead and start this up. But it takes me, over a year to get this started. I just did get this started up in December 1st, made the leap, and our very first day, boom, we get like, and we opened the doors on Monday, December 1st. Monday, December 1st. So I get it started on I want to say like 8:33 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on December 1st, Monday, December 1st, 2025. So we post our first article at 10:30, I want to say, somewhere around there. It was well after 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We posted our first article, and boom, within like just a few hours, man, we had 30 some people. I don't have those numbers in front of me just a second. Let me see if I can look them up here. I want to say we had like 30 some people on our very first day. So let me pull that up. That's very easy to pull up here. Reset that to the right day. No. Okay, let me correct myself here. We had 10 visitors. We had 31 views. So the very next day, December 2nd, we had 55 visitors, 73 views. That's a 2-day-old site. 3-day-old site. We had 83 visitors, 111 views. December 4th, we're a 4-day-old site, 57 visitors, 122 views. December 5th, we're a 5-day-old site at this point. In December 5th, we had 100 visitors, 147 views. December 6th, which would have been a Saturday, we had 84 visitors and 157 views. So we've been blessed to gain traction really quickly here at Appalachian Post. So our main focus here is national news. Whenever I started this, I realized that West Virginia, at least in the state of West Virginia, to the best of my research and digging all over the place, has no dedicated national outlet. We have a lot of local and we have a lot of regional, but we don't have a dedicated national. That's not to say that those papers, the local and the regional papers, don't cover national news, but that's just not their focus. So I wanted to jump into this and start a national focused newspaper, news outlet. And so that's what we've done. That's why you see a lot of national news in our work and on our site daily. Then we do local and state, which consist of stuff that's going on in my city of Buchanan, West Virginia, stuff that's going on in the state of West Virginia. And then we do Appalachian Belt states, which cover all 13 states that are in the Appalachian Belt. If you have a piece of your state in the Appalachian Belt, and so we got everything separated into sections. We have the Appalachian Belt, we have national news, state, local. We have a Faith&Life section where we deep dive into Christianity and topics and devotionals there. We have an entertainment section that's all about music, movies, video games. We have a storyline section that's got really cool flash fictions of different genres, anywhere from action to crime to historical fictions, a little bit of horror. Anything that you can think of, we probably threw it in there. So before we get out of here, I want to thank you all. I didn't put any money into marketing, any budgeting, or anything like that. And we had almost 2,000, very, very close to 2,000 people visit the site in just 31 days of us being a brand new site in our first 31 days. And we had well over 2,000 views. So I want to thank each and every one of you, because those views and visits are organic. And so from the bottom of my heart, from every fiber of my being, I want to thank each and every one of you, because we didn't buy these views. We didn't buy these likes. We didn't buy any of you. We didn't pay for anybody to come in. We posted, we clicked, we busted our butts, we did the research, we reported the news, we gave you and then along the way we gave you entertaining things to make your life a little bit easier and to keep things lighthearted. So thank each and every one of you. We'll see you. God bless.